Hello, friends. Welcome once again to Shudipta's Tarot. My name is Shudipta. So I've come today once again with a reading that's I hope can help you wade through the rest next of 2026. So the goal of this tarot will be to see how what may have happened through you till now whenever you are seeing this reading and how things are supposed to unfold for the rest of 2026. I'm doing this, right around the middle of 2026 in June. And so even in the middle of June. So it's ideal time to do this reading in all ways. So the goal will be to see if the tarot can throw some light on how things may have unfolded so far for you and what you may need to do or what kind of changes you may expect going forward, and if there's any guidance that is coming out for each one of you. So as usual, there are four groups in front of you. So we have and some beautiful cards, and all these anchor cards. I would like to say these are anchor cards because each card, anchors a particular, group or a particular reading. It's a very pivot. It's like a pivotal card for a particular reading, and all these cards have been drawn from a Sacred Mysteries oracle deck that's like rooted in some kind of some deep Hindu philosophy and Hindu sacred texts. Yeah, without much ado, let's just jump into this and we'll see what comes out for each group. So for group number one, we have the amethyst, the purple amethyst over here, and then we have this beautiful emotions card. It shows like this divine mother, it's a form of divine mother, the Ma Kali. She's standing over here, and on top of this, apparently someone who's unconscious or sleeping. And then on group number two, you have the green aventurine. This is a very familiar form of Ma, again divine mother energy, Ma Durga. She's worshipped, especially in the eastern part of India, Ma Durga, and she, again, it's a form of Shakti, the divine energy, right? And then in the third group, we have the clear quartz. This is again a beautiful chakra card. It shows the challenge. I don't know if you can see over here. It shows Airavat, the divine elephant. He's supposed to be the vehicle of Lord Indra, the lord of the demigods. It shows a very strong card, the challenge card, and then finally, but least but not the least, we have the obsidian, the fourth group, and we have the truth over here. It shows some of the divine masters in India. India, as you may know, is a very holy land. It's a land of spirituality. It's a land of seeking truth. It's a land of masters. It's showing Ma Anandamayi Ma over here. I forget the name of this master. I feel like I know him, but I think it's Thakur Sitaram Das Omkarnath, but I don't want to misquote. So, but yeah, he's also a very great master of recent past. So anyway, beautiful cards, four groups. You have group one, group two, group three, group four. You have amethyst, green aventurine, clear quartz, and obsidian. So select the group that calls you immediately. There's a gut feeling. You can make a connection. And once you have done that, I'll meet you in your respective group. The links will be given down below in the description. And hope something worthwhile comes out for each one of you through this particular reading. And as it is, I would like to say, I treat these readings as some channeled messages from my God and my masters. So hopefully they can help you through this reading and they can help guide you for the rest of this year and going forward. So we'll meet you again in your respective groups. Thank you. Welcome group number one. For those of you who have chosen this amethyst crystal, we'll see what's waiting for you in the rest of 2026 and what you may need to really keep in mind going forward throughout the rest of the year. So one critical thing when I look at this spread and that is coming out, if you look, there's two things that are noticeable, right? If you look at the start of the tarot, there's a lot of circles, right? If you see over here the world card coming up reversed, it shows sort of circles. Of course, it shows like an atomic structure for those of you who are familiar with atomic theory. These are like supposed to be orbits. And this is, your core. The way I interpret this card is like, this is you. And this is your core of your being. And there's a lot of turbulence, a lot of, things are like growing around in circles, right? And then if you look at that, and then if you look at this also, again, you see a circle, this talks about magician card. This also came out reversed, right? Again, it's a circle, right? The magician is like, or she is like moving some things, in a circular fashion, right? And then over here, if you look at two of pentacles, again, it's an infinite, two circles, and there's an infinite loop, right? This is infinity. This is a sign of infinity. So things are like going round and round. First of all, circle itself, talks about like, going in a loop, going in a circle. So and this also came out. So these two had come out reversed, and so I'm going to put them back to their original, position, reverse. And then look at that. So circles. Right? So I talked about this circle over here, circle over here, circle over here. Then if you look at this card, I'm going to discuss this card more in detail later on, perception. If you look over here also, there's a lot of circles. Right? I'm going to hold this closer to you so you can look at it carefully. Lot of circles, lot of concentric circles, like, circles interwoven with other circles around, right? So a lot of circles. Now, what does it mean? So, and then of course, a lot of cards are coming out reversed in this top row. If you look at this top row, we have like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Out of these 7 cards, you see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards have come out reversed. So what does it mean fundamentally? It means that, circles, of course, the obvious meaning is going round and round and round and round and round, right? So it's as if, you are not letting go of situations. You are like stuck in some kind of, it may feel as if, things are like going round around you endlessly in an endless loop where things are not changing, or you like find yourself stuck in that past, stuck in that some sort of a vortex where, and from where you're not being able to come out of, right? So, and this could happen because of multiple things, right? This could happen because of some emotional issues. This could happen, because of career, whatever it is, some things caught by some other people. But the strong message that is coming up, if you look at this card over here, right, it says shadow, right? So this is the shadow, this is the brighter one, right? Both of them are you. Like, so imagine like these are both you. So this you is looking back, at your shadowy self. So this shadow, to me is your past, right? So your past is not letting go of this wand, right? So you are not being able to release yourself from this past, or there is some sort of a carryover from your past. So your past is not letting you go, right? So your past is still holding on to something that you want to take and move away, right? But you're not being able to move away here because your past is not letting go of this stuff, right? This wand, this sculpture. So that's the fundamental issue, I feel. You are like holding on to something from the past, some memories, maybe some, some past, some association, some things that are not, and that is why you are not being able to release. See, it talks about over here the release card, right? Again, see, lot of, you're standing in a cemetery, right? And in a cemetery, what are these cemetery? What are these, what are these? It's like a graveyard, right? Where all these, you see these cemeteries, all these burial, these are all dead memories, or these are all dead. That's the fundamental thing. It could be memories that have no relevance. It could be people that have no relevance. It could be things, places, whatever it is. The fundamental things is, you are standing in a burial ground, in a graveyard where there is no sign of life, or you are hanging on to stuff, again, hanging on to literally stuff, right? Hanging on to stuff that has no relevance in your current life. It's all dead. It's all dead past. It's all dead memories. It's all, dead events. It's all, people who have moved away, who have no longer a place in your life. And so you need a release from all this, right? That is why everything is appearing very dark, very gloomy. See, here, it's all like appearing like very cloudy, obscured, But what's the good thing? The good thing is there is, a ray of suns coming out, even from that dark pall of gloom, even from in that all that cloudiness, sun's rays are showing through. So you need to look at that, but the problem is you are not looking over there. You are thinking that you are drenched in sorrow. You see this rain is falling over you, pouring over you. So you are feeling like you are like drenched in sorrow. There's no way out. Things are not moving. You're like going round and round in circles, right? You're overburdened. See this 10 of 1. This also came out reversed. You're feeling yourself overburdened. Overburdened with what? Overburdened with, again, the weight of past memories. So there could be some events that have created this tremendous setback, and in some of your cases, it could be some departure of some loved ones, maybe some very dear ones, some emotional setback, some event that have caused that grave sorrow in you, or something that because of which you are not being able to let go of your past and you're holding on to that past, right? And things are not moving, no matter how you try. And see, that is why this release is very important, right? And then perception, how you perceive things, right? That's the thing, right? You may be feeling like you are like going round in circles. There is no end to it. You may be feeling that it's all like becoming a very chaos around you, because when you are not grounded, when your mind is not working in the correct fashion, when it's not being able to guide you, everything feels like it's an utter chaos. You feel like there's a total noise. There's a lot of, you don't want to relate to anyone. You feel like you want to isolate yourself. You might feel like you want to be cloistered in one corner, in your own sorrow, and you don't care about anything else. Everything else is like noise. Everything else is like chaos. That's what this shows, right? And things are not making sense for you, or you don't want to make sense of anything, right? But see the perception. See, this is very important, right? If I take this card, and then if I take this card, and then if I take this card, a lot of positivities are coming out. I think that's something you need to really keep in your mind as you wait through the rest of 2026. I don't know when you're going to look at this video, but whenever you look at this video, keep in mind that it may be dark right now, but there's a glimmer of hope for you. Right? The sun's rays are shining through, even from the darkest or through the darkest of clouds, right? And then perception, it may seem chaotic, but if you look closely, there is some there is some pattern coming out. Like over here, you may see, if you look at it, initially it may look like a haphazard array of circles and all these patterns. But if you look at it closely, there's a distinct pattern, right? And you can see some symmetry, right? So you see over here, there's a symmetry over here, right? And there's a larger symmetry, there's a larger pattern that's coming out. You can see some fans over here. There's 4 arms, like 4 set of concentric circles and 4 ends. There's 2 circles over here. right? There's a distinct pattern. It's not all chaos. It may seem apparently a chaos, but there is a pattern, right? So whatever is happening, or whatever has happened, it's all for a reason, and it had to happen, right? But life has a larger design for you. Life has a larger scheme for you. So don't let go of life, right? Don't let go of life. That's what's very important, right? And see what's showing over here, death card. And again, as I said before, literally in your case, for this particular group, for most of you who are, who have chosen this group, it could be that the death of someone very close to you, have really shaken you up, and you have not been able to gone past that, right? But so it could be literally, but see what's important. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. Life has to go on, right? So just because one chapter has ended doesn't mean that your life as such has ended. That's what the universe is trying to tell you, right? That's what this tarot spread is trying to tell you. So now this is not the time to submerge yourself in misery, in sorrow. You have already done that, in the brooding. You have already done that quite a lot from what I see, right? Now is the time to come out of that. Now is the time to think about what's next, right? What's next for you, right? How can you let go of the past? How can you let go of the past, release it, and then search for that new beginning? And then what's more important is, and before I go on to that, see, this is another card, right? This is Capricorn. If you look at the symbology of Capricorn and the way it's been presented, is very interesting, right? You see this goat, the goat, and the first half, is a goat form, and the second half is a form of a fish. Like this goat, stands for earth, earthiness, grounding, right? Whereas this one, this fish symbolizes water, and water is emotion, right? So this goat is looking back towards the tail, right? That means, again, there is a need for you to be grounded at this moment, but you are too emotionally attached. You are still, see, it is looking towards the back, looking backwards. Whenever you see that looking backwards, right, that means, again, that tendency to be stuck in the past, to not let go of the past, right? To not let go of the past. Be heavily overburdened with past sorrows and past memories, right? That is why, see, even that goat is letting go, is stuck in that past, emotions. You are too emotionally attached, right? And so you need to look forward. You need to be more grounded. You need to be more like that goat rather than like that fish for the moment. More grounded. And what can really help you with regard to that? So first, I had drawn your attention to the number of circles. You see circle over here, infinity and circles over here. Some sort of a circular pattern over here, circles over here, a lot of circles, right? Now, the second important thing that I want to draw your attention to, this is a positive thing, right? You see the temperance card over here. So first of all, this temperance card itself talks about balance. And again, this had come out reversed, as I said. The world card coming out reversed. Sorry, I had kept it in the wrong way. It had come out reversed. The magician come out reversed. The 10 of wands reversed. The solitude reversed. Temperance reversed. These are very strong cards, right? Because world card is a very strong card. Magician is a strong card. Temperance is a strong card. These are all major arcana. In tarot, what we call as major arcana. That means these are the ones that have a fundamental influence on your life. How is it supposed to turn out? What is it that majorly you are holding back? These are the cards that kind of determines that. So having these powerful cards coming out reversed should tell you that what are you really holding back? What is waiting for you, in your life to happen, but you are not reaching there because you are too stuck in the past, right? That is why you need to release all that. So that's what temperance is, right? But the second interesting thing I wanted to talk about, right? So let's for now forget about these cards itself. Let's look at the symbology. See here, you talk about you are sitting over here. You are not so, from your facial expression, it looks like you're not so happy, right? Your eyes closed. There is these three well-wishers over here, they're praying for you. That's one thing. Secondly, Look over here. I mean, of course, I've talked about this 10 of wands before, like, you're overburdened with memory. But just for now, let's just look past that overburdening thing. There are two people sitting over here and you are not looking at them. You're just busy. Your attention is towards the ground. Here also same thing. You're not looking at them. You're not paying attention to them, right? See, this is the Three of Cups from the After Tarot deck. After Tarot means once an event has happened, what is next? Here also you see these three people. Right? And here you could be this one, and this could be the other people who are trying to, who are trying to be with you. Here also. And here it clearly says, ask for help from others. This is the most important thing. There are people around you, right? There are people around you who are trying to reach out to you, right? Who are trying to help you, who are trying to reduce, your sorrow, who are trying to, be with you, but you are not paying attention. Or again, you are too busy in your own, or too submerged or too drowned in your own sorrow. You are not letting anyone else reach out to you. You need to do that, because no matter how tough it is, if you reach out to others, if you take that and go for a walk with others, start interacting with others, mingling with others, venting out your feelings to others, sharing your pain with others, that can really help reduce your burden, because you simply cannot go on like this. And I'm very sorry, that, and I can feel your pain, right? I'm very sorry that, it had to come to this for you all. But the resounding message over here is, and again over here also you see, like this also come out reverse, Solitude card, right? Again, see, look at this facial expression. Again, it's all looking down, eyes droopy, right? Not really paying attention. She has a book open over here, but clearly, if you look at her expression, I don't know how clearly you can see this. She's not really paying attention to this book. So this book is the book of life. What's waiting for you? You see, some pages have turned over, but some pages are still open in front of you. That means some of your life is past. Again, see, this message is coming out repeatedly. Let go of the past. Let go of the past. Some chapters have closed, but some chapters are waiting for you to read and go through the rest of this book, the rest of your life, but you are not doing that, right? Solitude. And again, you're stuck in that solitude. Now, solitude can be good and solitude can be bad, but in sometimes, if you're too busy with mundane life, if you're too busy in the hustle and bustle, doing this, doing that, then in those cases, solitude can be good, right? Because people need some mental rest. People need to catch up. People need to kind of take a breath, right? People need to introspect a little. But in your case, solitude is bad. See, too much of anything is bad. Life is all about moderation, right? Too much of anything is bad. In your case, entire life is waiting for you. Okay, yeah, some part of the life may have gone, but still a lot of life is waiting for you. So you cannot be stuck in that solitude all the time. So again, it's a time for you to reach out to others. There are other well-wishers around you. See, they are praying for you, but you are not reaching out to them. That is why, again, you are stuck with dead memories, but where there are other people who are living, who are waiting for you, you need to really reach out to them. And clearly the message over here is ask for help from others. And these others is not only, your well-wishers, your friends, your relatives. Could be. They are also probably there for you. This is also the other thing, there is some divine, some divine connection. God. If you trust in God, if you trust in some masters, right, even they are waiting out there for you. So maybe prayer and meditation. So if you're really spending time in solitude, make the best use of that solitude, right? Spend time in meditation, spend time in prayer, seek out God. And see this card says over here, whistle. Be silent, pay attention. And simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. I'm going to read the message again because this kind of relates to what I had said over here regarding this perception card. Be silent, pay attention, and simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. Try to find some meaning in the pain. If you're spending time in solitude, you might as well make the best use of that. Right? Think, introspect. Is this all that life has to offer to you? Is this why life, your journey ends? Do you have nothing else to look forward to? What else are you missing out? Again, what are the other chapters in your life that you haven't really gone through? You want to close the book right here without going through the rest of the chapters, without finding what life may have been holding out for you. Don't you want to explore your life further? Right? Let go of that past. Seek the divine help. Right? Look forward. Be grounded. There are other opportunities waiting for you. Again, remember what I said about which card was that? Yeah, this one. Sunlight. Sunlight, divine help. Right? Universe is trying to extend a helping hand. Right? Look, sun's rays are shining through for you, but you are not paying attention. There are opportunities. There may be better opportunities. There may be more source of happiness waiting for you if you just come out of this this vortex, this circular loop that you are finding yourself currently stuck in, and then just move on. And see, this Three of Cups here is like this is a dance of harvest. Right? After you have gone through a winter, now you see new abundance. Right? You see, flowers blooming. You see, the fruits, coming up. A lot of blossom. See, it's a dance of harvest. It's a dance of newfound joy. Right? So in your case, this is it resounds deeply with you. Right? So you have gone through a winter in your life. Right? Again, sadness, a lot of deep-rooted sadness, sorrow, brooding, lamentation. But now that winter is is nearing an end. Now you need to find that next phase in your life. It's all about harvest, newfound joy, newfound happiness, new opportunities. Right? And that is what this is very important. Right? So you need to that is what the rest of 2026 is all about. And finally, this Four of Swords also talks about the same thing, rest. Let go of the past. Mingle with others. Go for a walk. Spend some time in nature. If you're going to spend some time in solitude, that is fine. But then don't be calm. Make use of that solitude. Maybe meditate. Maybe pray. Right? Take some rest. Sleep well. Right? That's the way you're going to get that mental balance back. And then you have this card also finally over here, emotions. Now again, this is taken from, this is rooted in some Hindu symbology, right? If you look over here, this is, I don't know if you can make it out. It shows a boat and a man is apparently asleep in a boat. And this is a turbulent ocean all around, right? So this man, is really, lost in a boat, and even he's not even looks like he's asleep or he's unconscious, and this turbulent water all around. What will be the first feeling? I'm lost. I'm doomed, right? There's nothing that can save me, right? Because all turbulent ocean over here, the man is stuck in this boat and the man is unconscious, right? Who's going to save him? This is your situation, you are cornered. There's no way, no one can save you. No, but that's not true. See, God, Ma Kali, this is Divine Mother. This is another form of Divine Mother called Ma Kali, right? She is protecting over you. She has taken care of this boat. You may not realize that. You are asleep or maybe you have fallen unconscious. But she is there. She's watching over you. She's protecting this boat. She's guiding you even through this turbulent water. What a beautiful symbology. What a beautiful message for you. So if you take this card with Dick's card, again, she's holding you here. The divine angelic being is holding you, right? So you need to just let go. You need to trust in the life's journey, life's process. Yes, there will be periods of downfall, periods of utter sorrow. But life is all about ups and downs. You cannot be stuck in that just a down phase. Just like, there are phases of darkness and sorrow, there will also be phases of happiness, and you need to take life by its horn and really go through that. And the beautiful thing is, reach out to universe. If you believe in God, pray, meditate. Right? There's a beautiful message over here that life is maybe trying to teach you something. Maybe life is trying to push you in a new direction, right? So definitely life is not over for you. In fact, far from over. There's new opportunities, new leaf. It's waiting for you to turn a new leaf, right? And again, people that are well-wishers around you, pay heed to them, reach out to them, go for a walk, mingle, have that meaningful conversation with others. If you're spending time in solitude, spend time in meditation, prayer, reach out to God, reach out to universe, reach out to your masters if you're initiated, right? It will do a lot of good for you. Spend time in real introspection, not like just, feeling like life is doomed, feeling like I'm stuck, feeling like, I'm stuck in an endless loop, there's no way around it, right? I'm like going round and round and round in endless infinite circle. No, that's what you may be currently feeling, but in the rest of 2026 and going forward, the resounding message is get yourself out of that. If you cannot do it yourself, seek the help of God. Reach out to your well-wishers. With their help, they are willing to help you. You will be able to come out of this. And then once you come out, there's a lot of opportunities waiting for you. See again, this dance of harvest, right? Sunlight waiting over you, shining over you. And again, I keep coming back to this card. Such a beautiful, powerful card, right? Mother, Divine Mother is watching over you, protecting you, protecting you. Right? Always keep that in mind. Have that ingrained in your mind, body, and soul that I am protected. This is not over for me. This is not over for me. I cannot, allow to let myself go. I need to pull myself back. I need to come back once again in life, and go through the rest of my life. It will be beautiful. It doesn't end over here. Let go of the past. Stop looking at the past. Be grounded. So I hope this message resonated with you. Again, group number 1, I'm happy to do this reading for you, and I hope it helps you, because I feel like if I've done this reading correctly, if a lot of you need that help, a lot of you need that encouragement, need that guidance, and I hope my God and my masters have been able to channelize that message through me to have an impact on you, a positive impact on you. So having said that, I take your leave right now. I'll see you in another reading, hopefully sometime soon. Bye. Hey, group number 2, for those of you who have chosen this green aventurine, we'll see what's waiting for you in the rest of 2026 and going forward, and what are the things that you need to really keep in mind in terms of your personal growth, in terms of what you can do better. So this particular group, my overall guidance from what I see right now is, I'm going to, of course, go into this in depth. There's a lot of different facets are coming out, but it all kind of converges in one direction, so I would really urge you to pay attention to what I'm saying, and because this is going to be some of the things that I am saying, it may be very critical for you, not only for you, for your other people whose life may be, hinging around you, right? So your family members, or whoever is in that close circle around you, right? So first thing first, your reading starts with the 7 of Cups. When I see the 7 of Cups, especially in context of all the other cards, you are a person who is heavily engaged. When you are watching this reading, and and maybe for the greater part of 2026, and I'm not sure how long it has been like this, but you are a group of people who are heavily engaged in multiple activities, in one or more activities. And I'm not going to be surprised if in most of your cases, you are like people who with multiple, who have who are engrossed in multiple pursuits, right? You may have job, you may have some side hustles, you may have some hobbies, you may have some, different other activities that you want to indulge, with your friends, parties, what all. No, I wouldn't say party too much, but something that is really productive in a way, right? And not just financially productive, maybe productive in different sense. But I feel like you people are engaged in multiple things. Right? And not only that, you are a bunch of people who are largely successful in whatever you are doing, in whatever position you are in terms of your career, in terms of your material pursuit, in whatever fields you may be finding yourself in whatever form, shape and form, you are at the top. See, because why I say that is because, you have this Wheel of Fortune card coming up. Oh, I have another card over here. I didn't realize. There was 2 cards actually stuck. I didn't realize I pulled 2 cards for you. See, this is interesting, right? So that means it's trying to tell you something more. That's very interesting. So let's see. This is the one that was on top. Wheel of Fortune, and it looks like what looks like a lion's, right? There's 4 animals that are showing up over here. Actually, 5, right? You have an eagle over here. You have a bull over here. You have what looks like this is that I forget. This is Anubis, I believe, the Egyptian god. And then you have what looks like a bear over here. There's a different symbology, but for this particular reading, they have a snake over here. So if I take this to be like some sort of a world of different creatures and different animals, but you are at the top. See, this is you. You are at the top. The Wheel of Fortune coming out straight, right? So you are in some kind of a leadership position, right? And not only that, this Queen of Wands has also come out over here. It came out reversed, and I'm going to go into this as to why it has come out reversed. But for a moment, if you see, this is you, right? And there are people over here who are cheering for you, who are applauding you. That means you are still you enjoy that leadership position. You enjoy certain status in your life where people are looking up to you. People appreciate what you have done or what you do, and they cheer for you, right? So it's not only that you are engaged in multiple things, you are also in leadership position. And of course, because you are in some sort of a top leadership position, that also explains why your attention is needed in multiple things, right? Because people, as they ascend that career ladder, and as they go to these managerial positions or higher executive positions or any other leadership positions, your attention is sought everywhere, in different directions. Because everyone wants your approval, everyone wants your guidance. Right? That's what it shows. And again, this was the one that was hidden over here. And again, I hadn't paid attention. This is very critical. That means the tarot had an additional message for you. This is 3 of Pentacles. Again, the 3 of Pentacles talks about skills, right? So you are highly skilled. And here it looks like people are again appreciating you. Not only people, it looks like your peers, your colleagues, your boss. They are all appreciative of what you do, right? So this is very interesting, all right? So I will keep this card, then I have to find a place over here. Okay, maybe I'll keep it over here. The problem is you may not be able to see this. I'll just keep it over here. How about that? You can see it partly. Sorry, I have a small space and I have to try to fit in multiple cards over here. Okay, so this is clearly established, right? So you are someone who's skilled, who's good in what you do. That's why you have you are appreciated for what you do, and that's why you enjoy some sort of a leadership position, some high stature. People seek your guidance, people seek your approval, people cheer for you. And you command some level of respect from your peers, from your bosses. Right, and then clearly over here, it shows that you're a workaholic, right? So again, this shows, your life is very busy, right? You have too many things going on. and again, of course, if a card comes out as workaholic, then I have nothing else to say. And again, here you can see that, you are like busy painting multiple paintings. So it looks like you're trying to paint not only one painting, but you have other multiple paintings over here in different stages of completion, right? So you're trying to like finish one after another in quick succession. You're trying to get too many things done in a very short time, right? And that is where this card comes into play, right? Aries. Aries is in a traditional in astrology, in Western astrology as well as in Vedic astrology. Aries is the one that leads the astrological. When you start the houses, it starts with Aries, right? So it is the one that it kind of leads, right? Again, it's a question of the leadership, the natural leader of the zodiac. Right? Again, it's symbolized by this ram, right? When you look at this ram in its powerful horns, you think of like a fiery force, someone who's very energetic, a lot of fiery will, endeavor. But the problem here is, there's a strong impulse to like really rush into something headlong, right? Sometimes maybe without thinking through it. So if you remember, as I told you at the very beginning, there are multiple messages that are coming out from this reading, but it all converge in the kind of same direction. So one of the messages, this tendency to kind of jump into something, sometimes because you are too energetic, right? You are too like willing to do something. That spirit of trying to get things done, multiple things. Like, as I was saying over here, paint one painting, then move on to the next one quickly, then move on to the next one quickly. It's all about like getting things done for you right now. But there are a couple of problems that are coming up, and that is what you need to be very mindful about. One, sometimes if you jump into some things without adequate planning, that can lead to problems. Right? So that is why it's saying over here, patience and planning. Be patient. Plan your things through. Because sometimes the tendency to jump into things headlong, without thinking everything through can lead you to troubles. Right? Anything, if you don't do your homework adequately, and if you're just rushing into things, based on just impulse, then anywhere, impulsive behavior in any field can sometimes lead to negative results and can sometimes lead to unintended consequences, right? So you need to keep that in mind. So the first thing is be patient, be planned. Don't be overly driven by your impulse and energy and that urge to get things done. That is good, but that has to be tempered with this right outlook and a cool attitude where you're thinking and you've done your homework. That is why this temperance card has also come out, right? That talks about balance, taking things calmly, taking things, in a little, calculated way, avoiding unnecessary risk. Now, this temperance card also tells me something completely different. This is where this card and then this lover card coming out reversed. This lover card coming out reversed. And then now this card, this Queen of Wands, which I've already talked about before, showing it upright to show that, you are a leader, you are someone in a leadership position who people appreciate, who people are there to cheer. But remember, in your case, this had actually come out reversed. Now, for a moment, I'm going to still hold it upright just to convey the message. So you have this temperance card, which I've talked about little briefly on a different context. If you have the lover card reversed, actually, let me hold the Queen of Wands reversed. If you see, something else is also coming out over here. The first message I've already told you is the need to be calculative, need to take things easy with patience and planning and not to rush headlong. Now the second message, listen carefully. See over here, this is you, right? It looks like you are so busy in your life, right? You are such a workaholic, and in that rush to get things done, you are not ignoring some of the other things that may be a blessing to you, right? Like immediate messages, you may be ignoring your immediate family members. See over here, you have this woman. She looks like pregnant. She's carrying someone in a womb, right? And if this is you, then it looks like you have no time for maybe your wife, or maybe your loved one. If you are a woman, maybe your husband. If you are a husband, maybe your wife. This could also mean your children, your parents. You have no time for your immediate family members. You have no time to even, this is a nun praying with a prayer bead in her hand. You have no time to even think about God for a moment. You are in that mad rush to get things done, to move ahead in your career, to achieve whatever you have set out to achieve, that you have no time for anything else. The subtler things of life, the things that brings about genuine joy, the company of your family members, sparing some time to think about nature, to think about the God, think about universe. You have no time for all that, right? And that is why the love heart card has come out reversed. It's as if love has no place in your life right now. It's all about getting things done, achieving things, moving on to the next thing, impressing others. Your life is becoming a bit too materialistic and bit too rust and bit too in a way hedonistic, right? I think that is second important message that's coming out. Don't be so blinded by career pursuits and career successes and career achievement that you lose sight of, and you start ignoring people who may have a genuine place in your life, who are well-wishers, and you're ignoring them. Love should not give way to love. Of course, achieving things is important. Of course, success in life is important to some extent, but your life should also be balanced. Because if you lose these family members, and if you have no place for love in your life, then at the end of it, when everything is said and done, at some point when you are no longer able to force yourself in that racing track, where will you find yourself as you will be a loner, without the company of your loved ones, left dry, with no love in your life. Can you imagine that life? Don't do that. And the other thing, see the Queen of Wands, why it has come out reversed, maybe also that leadership or that appreciation from others, maybe sometimes it can also get into our head, right? And so we can we can become a little bit of proud of our achievements. We can become a little bit of arrogance. That's another thing, right? So three messages are already coming up. One is, again, plan and be patient. Don't rush into anything headlong. Second is, leave room for love in your life. Leave room for subtle things in your life. Don't be so madly in rush to get things done that you have no time for your family members, for your loved ones, maybe for time to kind of spend some time in solitude, meditation, and miss out that overall balance in your life. Third thing is, don't get blinded by this adorations and and platitudes and all, so that and don't let them get into your head, so that you become proud, you become arrogant, right? So that's the third thing that's coming out, right? So let me keep this over here, right? And see, directly beneath this card, this temperance, there's a strong no message. The way I read this is, again, becoming, the universe is saying, don't do that, right? What I just said. Don't be so self-absorbed. Don't be so absorbed, in your, in trying to achieve things, trying to get things done, trying to, please others, that, you lose your near and dear ones. You lose your balance, overall balance, right? You become so self-obsessed. No, right? No to, and so that's one thing, right? Now let's look at this Sun card. This is coming from an After Tarot deck. In the traditional tarot deck, if you look at the Sun card in the traditional tarot deck, this is you. You are seated high on a horse, right? You're holding this flag up and high, right? So you are at the, in the peak of your success, right? There's no one to stop you. You are like riding, you are riding mighty, ridden on a horse of success. This is the after tarot. This is what immediately follows, right? Here, that horse is gone. You are grounded. Your feet is on the ground. You're still holding that banner, but someone else from behind is trying to pull it down. This gives me a sense that there is a continuous worry in your mind that you may not be able to retain that position that you have achieved for yourself. And there's always probably that nagging worry that someone else is out to get you. Like you are in a rat race. You are always worrying that, there may be competitors, right? Maybe, your colleagues or maybe your peers, they are out to get you. Maybe they are conspiring, or maybe you have to always push harder so that, you can retain your position. Otherwise, someone else may, come and usurp your position, right? That's another thing. And that's making you more obsessed. That is making you more obsessed to keep going, keep pushing, keep doing things, keep doing multiple things, even at the cost of, taking unnecessary risk, even at the cost of, alienating yourself from your family members or your well-wishers, your wife, your children, your husband, your parents, right? Pushing yourself more and more, doing things more and more, rushing into things headlong, right? Becoming more and more self-obsessed. Don't do that. Maybe that's nothing but your paranoia. Calm yourself down. Again, the question is having that balance in your life. See, here also, right? This shadow card has come out. Again, the same thing, right? See, here also, someone is pulling the banner down, or at least you are thinking that someone is trying to, drag you down, pull you down. Over here also, you are feeling like someone is holding on. Someone is trying to steal this capture from you, right? Some shadowy self. It's a shadow. Why it's a shadow? That someone may not be out there really. It's all a figment of your imagination. You are imagining, right? That there's some shadowy self is out there. Someone out there is trying to get you, right? It may be nothing. It may not be a reality at all. Maybe people, they actually appreciate you. But you are thinking that, no, I have to keep going. Otherwise, there may be people are out there conspiring against me, right? And that is, again, that's driving you crazy, right? So I sense a lot of nervous energy. I sense a lot of agitation. I sense a lot of self-obsession. I sense a lot of pride and arrogance that may be creeping in. So that is a need for balance, and how you can achieve that balance, right? Be that divine masculine, right? So the divine masculine talks about that energy, talks about that drive, talks about that will to get things done. But it's also divine masculine. That means it's also balanced with some of the finer things like love, caring attitude, responsibility, right? Groundedness, humility, right? That's what makes it a divine masculine. So don't be just masculine, trying to be that kind of an alpha male, trying to get things done, achieve things, reach higher and higher, go up higher and higher, forget about everyone else, forget about your near and dear one, forget about everything else. No, be divine masculine. Do everything, but also don't lose sight of the finer things. Maintain that finer thing. Be humble, right? Be loving, be responsible. Take care of the others whose life depends on you, your parents, your family members, your children, right? Service. Be serviceful. I feel good when I can help others. Don't always think that people are out to get you. Rather, you try to be helpful in your workplace, everywhere else. Because remember, people who help others, this is the law of karma. They will also get help from others. Right? What you give out comes back many times. If you give out continuous negativity and continuous, this kind of, grudging others and being suspicious of others, that's going to again come back to you and haunt you. And that's what's happening. Give out positive vibes. Help others. Be there. Love. Treat everyone with respect. You have nothing to worry. God has given you a lot of good skills. A lot of, again, being the divine masculine. People are appreciative of you. So if you also, give the, reciprocate that love, reciprocate that, in a positive way, people will respect. That will be the real respect. People will have real respect for you, right? And that is why this message over here, stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings in your life. That's what's happening, right? And this complaining attitude is coming from that agitation. I'm not getting enough. I'm not getting the enough attention. I'm not getting enough. My desired position. Again, it's coming from that sense of like people are trying to maybe pull you down, which may not be true. It's just your figment of imagination, thinking that okay, maybe there are people who are out to get you, who don't want your best. And this is what is keeping you agitated, continuously complaining, and also because you're pushing yourself too hard. That sense of fatigue, tiredness is also like, making you, irritated, agitated, anxious. And that's why you're complaining sometimes. But you're not thinking that, you have blessings in your life. God has given you multi-skills. God has given you energy. Right? Put that to good use. Be a balanced person. Give out love. Give out positive vibration. Respect others. Be humble. Treat, your family members who are dependent on you. Spare enough time for them. Don't just be so obsessed about career. That's not the final thing. There are other bigger and better things in your life. Right? Think about that. And that's why the final card is here. See the Ma Durga. This is it again, Divine Mother, transformation. There is a need to transform yourself. What does she do? She kills the Asura. She kills the demonic being. Who is this demonic being? This represents the demonic qualities within us, right? The arrogance, the pride, the paranoia, right? Trying to look down on others. Continuously treating others as enemies, like our competitors, right? That negative attitude, right? She tries to destroy all that, and she tries to bring out our best and our better self. So that leads to transformation, right? That is what's coming out very positive. So what are in your case? Again, you are a person of great skills. People respect you. You have all the leadership qualities. But then think about what makes an ideal leader. An ideal leader is someone who can command respect from others, who doesn't intimidate others, right? And what do you need to command respect from others? Is it just doing more, or being self-obsessed, or continuously getting things done? That's important. Also, being humble, reaching out to others, being appreciative, respecting others, taking care of others, sparing some time for the society at large, for your family members, doing your duty, right? Do some social work, lend out a helping hand, be grounded, don't let arrogance get into your head, right? Stop that paranoia. Be prayerful, be thankful to God and universe for what you have got, right? Rather than being paranoid and being self-obsessive and trying to get more and more. And again, I'm saying all this just because that doesn't necessarily mean that all of that applies to you. I'm trying to cover all the possibilities over here because that's what's coming up over here, right? So again, do your homework. Don't be so impulsive, right? Try to take things in a level-headed manner. Spare some time for your family. Be responsible. Be humble. And of course, that again, as I said before, that in combination with all the qualities that you have, that great sense of energy, that great sense of that focused attitude, that trying to get things done, that will be even more miraculous for you. So then combining that being a divine masculine rather than just being masculine, that's going to really take you to even higher places, because that's when you're going to command more respect from your peers, from your colleagues, from your team, right? And that's going to take you to even bigger and better places. But that's going to also make you a better human being in a way, right? Because I'm more rounded human being who not only thinks about his own career, his or her own career, also thinks about others and learns to get things done with others, right? That's an important difference, and that's what makes a true leader an ideal leader, okay? So hopefully, and again, this is not about finger pointing or anything. Everyone goes through these same things. Everyone needs to be mindful of, all this stuff, right? So again, there's a lot of great things happening in your life. It's just about, being more careful about certain things that can creep into in all of us, right? So hope this helps, group number 2. And again, so good to be doing this reading for you, and hope to see you in sometime, hopefully in near future. Thank you. Bye. Hey, group number 3, for those of you who have chosen this clear quartz, we'll see what you need to really take into account for the rest of 2026, and how things may have been evolving for you, and what you need to kind of keep into mind. So first and foremost, group number 3, I think you do good to also consult group number 1 reading, because I feel like if you are drawn to, like some of you, if you are drawn especially to group number 1 and group number 3, and you had a tough time deciding between these two groups, I would definitely encourage you to also, just go through the group number 1 reading, because there's a lot of similarities in some ways, between these two groups. Because your group also, I sense a little bit of a heavy energy, going into this year, and what you have gone through so far, and till now, whenever you may be watching this reading, and again, hopefully, sometime in this year. Though in general, I keep saying that the tarot is like a universal, right? So whenever you are looking into this, it should apply from there onwards. But till, just for the sake of this reading, since I am, it focuses on the rest of 2026. So I hope you get to see this reading sometime in 2026, and it applies to you for the rest of this year and going forward. So anyway, I feel like just like group number 1, I feel like you are coming out of some heavy energy, and in your case, I feel like it's again it's largely something to do with emotion, and in your case, it could be something to do with with love, maybe matters of heart. Because the first thing is, you have you have the Venus card over here. You may not be able to see it. I have a small area where I'm trying to fit in so many cards. Here, I'll show this to you. The Venus. I had to cover up this portion because of YouTube, censorship reason. But this is the Lord. This is the goddess Venus, and goddess Venus generally stands for a matter of love. It signifies matter of love, anything to do with love, beauty, peace, prosperity, so that Venus. So this coming up in your reading, along with some of the other things that I'm going to, cover a little, so going forward, it shows that you are someone who's given to, there's two things, right? First of all, this is something to do with the, with heart, some matter of love. Why I also say that is because here you have this card, right? Insecurity. Now, insecurity here, it clearly shows that, this, it's showing a heart and something to, and there's a devil, picture of devil over here, and something to do with your heart, and, this, some negative energy is coming out of this heart, right? Now, this could be, and overall you see there's a red. There's a lot of red over here, right? So red in general stands for, not only love, but it also stands for, it's kind of a Martian energy, right? So it also can stand for envy. It can also stand for, that kind of a desire, a strong desire, stuff like that. So this is telling me that something to do with heart, and some reasons to do with heart, insecurity, right? And so then when I see this card along with this card Venus, right? So what you may have been going through right now has a lot to do with your heart and issues related to heart. It could be either love and insecurities arising out of probably not getting the due response, having been betrayed in the past, or having gone through some trauma related to love, matters of heart, something like that, or maybe where it may be a question of matters of jealousy, or maybe some to some extent maybe obsession, something to do with heart that has not really quite worked out in your favor, right? And so that is causing some heaviness right now, right? This also indicates, when I look at this, with context of other cards that I'm going to, go through, you may be a person who's given to who can appreciate the finer things in life, like who have a sense of beauty, that aesthetic side, right? Who maybe you may be someone who's very aesthetically disposed, like who can appreciate nice music, nice food, or nature, or paintings, anything to do with that finer things, subtler things, beauty, aesthetics, right? You may be also that, you may have, some of you may also have like a little bit of an artistic side, or maybe you may have a very finer awareness, or or a refined sense, right? And people of this kind, who are sensitive, who are more refined, also are the ones who tend to get easily hurt, but in matters of love and all, because they tend to trust other people easily, and they tend to, fall for things easily, and they in turn they get, hurt, and in turn they get, easily taken for a ride, right? But so your readings actually opens with the Nine of Swords reversed. So you have several cards over here reversed: Nine of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot card, and the Empress card. All these 4 cards coming out reversed. Now, especially the Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot and the Empress, these are all very powerful cards, right? So this coming out reversed, again clearly shows that there is there's a lack, there's a kind of a sense of stagnation, right? And there's a lack of, overall, victory, or that having that triumphant mood in life where you feel like things are working out for you, or things are going in your favor. And especially, when it comes to matters of family, matters of, near and dear ones, you feel like, you are being let down. And clearly this Nine of Sword energy itself, this picture says it all, right? In a typical tarot deck, the Nine of Sword itself stands for that trauma, a deep-seated sorrow, heaviness, right? Now, good thing in your case is, it starts with the Nine of Sword coming out reversed. So this is something that you are kind of coming out of, which is a positive sign, right? And that's what this reading talks about, right? So how you can take it further, how you can really do some work, or put in some work to to come out of this heaviness further. That's why it has come out reversed. But in general, if you see this Empress card also coming out reversed, so like you are not getting that due attention as a result, and you have a lot of qualities, as I said, also because of the Venus card coming out. Maybe some of you have that finer sense, that aesthetic sense. Maybe some of you have, people like you, I won't be surprised, if some of you all have that artistic ability or creative ability, right? Some of you may do very good in this kind of fields that has to do with art and creativity, or music, anything like that. But what's happening is, so it feels almost like, to some extent, you are not getting your dues so far, because you have been you have been bogged down because of such heaviness, such heavy energies, and that is why you are not reaching that pinnacle. See, that this is interesting. The Ten of Pentacles and the Chariot and the Empress. If you look at all of them, they've all come out reversed. But if I turn them upright for a moment, this is one thing, right? This Ten of Pentacles, right? The way these 10 balls have been arranged, there's a pyramid, right? It talks about that, that reaching that top, right? Here also that victory, right? That Empress energy, right? Being on top, being at the center of attention, the cynosure of all eyes, as they say, you have it in you, but you are not getting there. You are not going there because this kind of is something. This heaviness is keeping you down, right? And so this is for example another one that kind of emphasizes the same thing. This is from the After Tarot deck. So it typically shows, like, for example, if you see in the traditional tarot deck, the moon card, it doesn't show this lady, right? It shows just this domesticated dog and a wolf, howling, and then this crab trying to crawl out of water. But this lady is not shown in the traditional tarot deck. So this is the After Tarot. This shows typically like what could have happened, or what could have the unfolding of events. Going from a typical tarot deck, right? So here this lady kind of walks in or comes in, right? And she has this, she's like draped in this hood, so as if she's trying to cover herself from others, right? And she has this very protective energy, trying to hide herself from others, not to show her face. Again, a very kind of, and moon itself stands for mind. Moon itself stands for emotion, right? So you are trying to cover yourself, and you are like, this dog's howling, it kind of signifies a lot of inner turmoil, a lot of inner negativity, a lot of inner disturbance, right? Or maybe in this kind of, what happens is when you're going through such a heavy energy, even any kind of outer proceedings can appear as noise to you, right? You want to stay silent, you want to stay quiet, you want to stay in your cocoon, right? You don't want any outer disturbance to bother you. So even it may not be, so, in a typical, literally noisy, but that can appear noisy to you. That can appear like external disturbance to you because you don't want to think about anything else. You want to just stay in your own cocoon. You want to stay submerged, and to enshroud yourself, right? In your own safe haven. That's the kind of energy I'm sensing over here. And plus, if you see, this crab is trying to crawl out of water. So this water again signifies emotion, right? So this crab trying to crawl out of water into the ground, it's like you. You are trying to leave this past behind. You are trying to leave this past emotional heaviness behind and trying to be grounded, because this ground, again, is grounded, earthy energy, right? So that kind of more stability. So you are trying to ground yourself. That is what is needed over here, right? So that is why, because, you are going through this kind of energy, so that success, that victory, that attention that is due to you, that, you are worthy of, given, your finer skills, your sensitivities, your artistic maybe abilities, your finer qualities, your sense of beauty. You are kind of, those are not coming to you, those are eluding you, right? And again, these two cards are very powerful, right? This shows wisdom card. In a traditional tarot deck, it will be a Hierophant, right? Like some sort of a spiritual leader or some sort of a authority figure, again, who has that inner wisdom. Again, if you combine this with the Venus card that I've talked about earlier, it talks about someone who can see through things, who is a person of finer sensitivities, very refined, right? So you may have a lot of things to offer to the world, and people may look up to you in the future, and people may be still doing so, but you are not getting there because of some of the heaviness that is kind of tying you down, right? And this is also the same thing, the awareness, right? So it's almost like, again, that divine, that very wise energy over here, if you look at this person's face, right? And not only that, what's important is, it's like, you see this, you are like a channel for divine messages, right? So in a way, again, this tells me that some of you could do very well, in matters of creativity, in matters of writing, matters of composition, matters of painting, because it's almost like the universe has something to say, and the universe wants to channelize some messages through you. Now, this doesn't just mean, that of course, one of the meaning is, especially taken with this wisdom card, that, you can be some sort of a spiritual master or some master, who can really influence others through their insights, through their spiritual insights. That is one thing, and that could be very much applicable to some of you. But also, even it's not strictly spiritual, it's like people who are very sensitive, people who are very refined, people who can see the subtler things in life that a lot of people may miss out in everyday life, right? People who have their ears and eyes open and who are very perceptive, right? In general, universe tends to walk through them better because they are better receptacles, right? They are better receivers, right, of messages, and so some of you could also be, very could also do very well in matters of psychic, and like tarot reading, like astrology, right, or healing, anything to do with healing, you can also do very well. Right, so you have that kind of energy, you have that finer energy, the sensitive energy, the psychic energy, right? So universe can walk well through you, right? So you are that conduit, but so there's a lot of potential in you, right? But I think that's not manifesting fully because of all this that I've talked about. So again, the matters of heart, right? So if you look at, for example, so this Four of Swords over here, right, talks about rest. So what works best in this kind of situations, and again, this is the same thing I've told in the group number 1 also. Whenever you're going through some heaviness, and some not so pleasing phases in your life, what is required is that, is that rest, is that moments of solitude. And solitude can work in two ways, right? So you may be already going through a period of solitude where you are trying to keep yourself, as I said before, stay in your own cocoon. But what is happening over here is you are really brooding and lamenting, and maybe there's a lot of heaviness. That solitude is not good, right? So solitude is ideal where you are taking some rest, you're composing yourself, right? You are asking yourself whether this is the end of life or, I have more to offer in this world, right? I need to come out. You're asking those hard questions to yourself, like, is this it for me? Should I accept defeat or should I just keep moving on? What do I have to offer, right? What is the universe asking of me, right? What can I offer to this world? Maybe channelize some of that heavy energy through your writings, through your compositions, through your art, right? So that transform that heaviness into through some in a positive way. Because it says, it is said that finer things can come out of very, sadness. Sadness can lead to some very fine things. If you look at some of the famous poets, some of the famous creations, some of the famous writings, and there's a very poignant message that comes out. But how you express that can really become a very immortal creation. Right, so think of that also, right? So maybe that is why universe is taking you through that kind of a heavy energy, because if it's all very frivolous in life, if it's all very fun and frolic and party and joy, then you don't really understand the finer things in life. So sometimes that little heaviness is required, because that's when you see life in its truest form. That's when you understand all aspects of life. And I can that is why I can see why for some of you, maybe life may be trying to take you through that journey so that you can evolve and you can become more mature as a person, right? And you can then gather those spiritual insights, or it's different kind of insight that you can channelize through your communication and other things in different forms, right? So keep that in mind. That is why, in that case, maybe a meditation and some rest will be very good for you. And again, it clearly says over here a year from now. So maybe a year from whenever you are seeing these readings, if you start working on some of the things that I'm telling you, you will see that, that you will reach that level of success. You will be there, that Empress energy, that victor, that success, you will, or that triumph. You will be there a year from now. So the tarot is making a definitive commitment over here. It's like promising you that if you really work on this, if you really come out and put some work on yourself, a year from now, you will be in a much better place. And then if you look at these two cards, again, the meerkat, right? So get support from a trusted group of like-minded friends, right? So again, very similar to group one, like what I've said about group one, like, when in this kind of situations, you may want to reach out to other people, go for a walk in nature, reach out to those friends, those well-wishers, and so share your feelings with others. That way, that will help you alleviate some of that inner turmoil and some of that inner heaviness, right? And I'll honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul, right? So of course, it's taking, it's advising you to take care of your health, and I think that's where the Four of Swords also comes in. It's time for rest, time for composing yourself, time for getting a hold over yourself, because you have bigger and better things to do in your life, right? And then that is why he's saying, I'll honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul, right? Because I am a pure soul, right? And I have some commitment to myself, right? Because I don't know if in Hindu philosophy, even in some of the other Oriental philosophies, it talks about soul being all-pervading, and everyone is God. So God is residing in everyone. So in a way, your body is not just your body, but your body is a temple of God. It's an abode of God. So you have certain commitments to yourself, right? So being overly committed to yourself, like only thinking about yourself, can be termed as selfishness. But to some extent, you also need to be aware of your own needs, right? Now, that doesn't mean that, you're going to keep pampering yourself, you're with nice clothes, nice jewelries, eating nice food. No. But at the same time, you cannot ignore yourself. You cannot keep torturing yourself, right? You cannot ignore some of the things that, mainly because you have been sent into this world to fulfill certain duties, to do some. You have been sent in. There's a purpose for you. Everyone comes with a purpose. And you also have a purpose that I've already talked about before, right? So you cannot ignore that and just because you're going through some heaviness. No. So that means you're not doing justice to yourself. You're not doing justice, for what you have been sent in this world. Right? So get a hold of yourself. And then finally, this one talks about integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. I'm going to read this again. This is very important. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. See, this is important. Balanced symphony of life. Life is not just party. Life is not just happiness. Life is not just up and up. Life is not just frolic, shopping, doing this frivolous. No, life is an integration of positivity and negativity. Life is an integration of happiness and sadness. Life is an integration of ups and downs. It's a duality, right? When there is brightness, there will be darkness. So we need to understand that, and that is why life takes us through this journey of ups and downs. So that is what, as I said before, because you people have that extra sensitivity, you people are good receivers. That is why life is taking you through that journey so that you can get an overall understanding of life that is not just fun and frolic and happiness and cheerfulness and merrymaking and all that thing. That's one aspect, but that's not just life. There's another aspect, right? There will be sorrows. There will be sudden turn of event that may not really work in your favor. There may be certain darker phases or some gray phases in your life. But even those serves a purpose that presents life in its totality. And especially in your case, that helps you make more mature, that gives you a bigger understanding of life so that you can channelize that knowledge, you can channelize that insight into something better to guide others. through your writing, through your insights, through your guidance, through your composition, through your artwork, through whatever it is, through your healing power, right? That is the overall message that's coming out over here. And then finally, you have this card, challenge, right? It again, I don't know if you can see it clearly. This challenge is again, it talks about really getting hold of yourself, right? Letting go of what is no longer useful or helpful for your worldly journey, right? So letting go. Forget about the past, let's move on. Sometimes it may feel like, you are choosing to go down a very bumpy road, but, it's a tendency for all of us to hold on to the past. But again, ask yourself those tough questions, right? Have you only come over here to, just stay in your own cocoon and be, down all the time? Or you have a better purpose to serve in this life? If you can see in this, it shows in the center, there's a white elephant. Its name is Airavat. So if some of you, if you are familiar, Airavat is the elephant of Lord Indra. In Hindu philosophy, he's the Lord of the gods, the gods of heaven. He's not the supreme god, but he's like a demigod. And he's the god of amongst all the demigods. He's the king of all the demigods, right? And Airavat, so this Airavat symbolizes strength. So you have to channelize that inner strength. You have to find that inner strength. You are strong. We are all strong. Again, you are the soul. So channelize that inner energy and face this challenge. This is a temporary challenge. This is a temporary setback. If it's a matter of heart, it's a matter of love, anything to do with emotion, it's a temporary setback. Trying to bring yourself out of this water, this emotional cesspool that you're finding yourself in. Crawl out. And you have already done so, right? That is the positive part. So just as I was telling you, your reading is starting with the Nine of Swords reversed. So you're coming out of that energy. You're coming out of that heavy energy. You've already started doing that work. That's a good thing. So this crab is already pulled itself half out of this water, right? This emotional vortex, right? So continue doing that work. Thank you for doing that. Face that challenge. And I'm sure, as it is, the tarot is openly promising over here that 1 year from now, you will be in a much better place, right? And again, you have better things to do, because again, anyway, the fact that the Chariot, the Empress, the Hierophant, and the Awareness, the Justice card has come out, 4 strong major arcana. It says that, you have a lot of things to do in this world. You have a lot to give out to the world, right? And there's some sort of you are a channel, a conduit. It's a wonderful group of people, and you have a lot to say. So just step up, come up, pull yourself out, and and go forward, right? So I hope this resonates with you, group number 3. If it does, and please leave me a comment. I really appreciate you, and I want to know. I'll be curious to know what you all thought about this reading. And I hope to all the best for you, and I hope to see you in some other reading in the future. So thank you for now. Bye. Hey, group number 4, for those of you who have chosen this obsidian. It could also be a tiger's eye, but it looks more like an obsidian. Anyway, I'll stick to obsidian for this reading. So for those of you who have chosen this obsidian, this will be your reading. We'll see how 2026 is going to unfold for you, the rest of 2026, and what you may be expecting going forward, not only in 2026, but also going forward. This is a very powerful group. Out of all the groups that I've done so far, this is the most powerful, and I am really impressed with you a lot, because I think, again, I'm not sure when you're going to see this reading, ideally, around the same time when I'm doing this, around like in June of 2026, right in the middle. But whenever you see this reading, it's like you are going through some big changes right now, right? You are going through some big changes, and some upheavals are happening in your life as we are going through this. Some major upheavals are happening, and that is for good, right? Some upheaval, some sort of change, you're coming out of that, and at the moment, you may not be realizing that upheaval because it's happening, but it's happening, maybe in a subtle way. And but to you, it may be looking like a lack of change, a stagnation, like you are fighting the same battle again and again and again, right? And that is why if you see this death card over here has come out reversed, right? Because generally death card talks about transformation, change, but in your case it's coming out reversed, right? So means changes is happening, but you may not be realizing that. It's like stagnation. So and what's interesting over here is, I'm going to go through the rest of the card. It's very powerful spirit at the top row. But with the death card, you see Six of Sword over here, right? And this Six of Sword, as you can see, it's showing this is you. You're traveling on a boat on this water, and this water is very important. This water comes up over here also. This water is nothing but your mind, right? It's your emotion. Your water is is a water sign. It means emotion. Is that shifting thoughts, a lot of negative thoughts, or a lot of distractions. To me, ideally, this group comprises spiritual people, highly spiritual lot, right? People who are very sensitive, who are very devoted, who are given to seeking in this world, a different kind of seeking. Like a lot of people are seeking different things. We are all seeking something or the other. Some are seeking material success, fame, emotional satisfaction, happiness and all. But this seeking is a different thing. You're seeking for a larger goal in life, devotion, true love for God, maybe meditation, some inner happiness, inner peace. And when you go through their journey, you see these devils, all these, ghosts and ghouls and, all these demons. And as you're passing through the water, they are trying to crawl up and gang up all around you and trying to distract you and scare you. These are nothing but those thoughts, the relentless negative thoughts, maybe desires. And people who work on this path of seeking, true seeking, they know that they have to go through all this. It's an inner battle that you have to fight. Your inner temptations, your inner desires, your inner angers, negative urges, and you have to fight against them. It's a constant battle. And here, what makes it harder is here you have to fight it out alone. And of course, people who are initiated, they have their master's guidance. And of course, God is always there, and that comes out strongly over here as well, right? That you are not alone. But this is a fight that you have to fight alone. And that is why, since you're fighting that constantly, it leads to those moments of tiredness, fatigue, when you keep asking yourself, what is going on? Why it's me? Why am I being singled out for all these repeated hardships, repeated negativities, inner battle, outer battle, right? Why is it that? That's why, it can seem like a drag. That's why this death card has come out reversed. But what follows this death card immediately, as we are fighting this battle, that is why I said the changes are happening, big changes are happening for you, but you may not be realizing that, or you may be realizing that, but may not be to the full extent, but it's happening definitely for you. And what that means is, look at this card, the Ten of Pentacles, upright, the King of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Hierophant, very powerful cards, very powerful cards. And they're all coming out upright, right? This means, you are meant, the universe is really trying to push you up at the very top. And top not only in terms of material success, that could follow. Generally, people who are, who are aiming for that highest goal in life, sometimes, all the material success also follows them, right? So I won't be surprised, if you are also materially, you are pushed to the top. But what is more important than that is, you are being pushed to a different level, right? You are being pushed like someone like a King of Swords or Queen of Cups, Hierophant. If you look at especially the King of Swords and the Hierophant, very leadership quality, true leaders, someone who's very wise, right? Who people look up to, and who people are very authority figures, right? Powerful, very wise. People, who people look up to for advice. Like the Hierophant is the male version of the High Priestess, right? Spiritual leaders, People who can guide others, who have that inner wisdom, or who have developed that inner wisdom, that inner maturity. And again, because the universe is trying to push you at that level, you have to first go through that battle yourself. Because if you have not gone through that battle yourself, then how are you going to guide others, right? So that is why this is a process of, of making you stronger, making you more mature, making you more wise, making you more, see life and experience life from different dimensions, so that when you are up there, you can guide others, right? That is what the king does. The king protects others. The king guides others. It's like a father figure, the Hierophant, again, guides others, protects others, authority, right? Very powerful, not just outer power. Again, outer power could also be there. Remember what I said, the material success, and it says over here, financial and material changes are also happening, right? So you are the people who are going to get everything eventually in this life. Material success, financial success that follows material success, and then of course at the end of the day, the true leadership position, a true guide, a true leader, right, who can help others, right? Very perceptive. And what is the quality of a true leader? A true leader must be perceptive, must be a good listener, must listen to all, from the smallest team member, from the most, the junior team member to the highest, right? Receptive to all sections of the society, right? Who can, guide them properly, who can lead them properly. Real authority, humble at the same time, very humble, down to earth, right? Protective of the team members and everyone around you. Kind, compassionate. That is why the Queen of Cups come in, right? See, she's like a very motherly queen, but very humble, right? Very protective. Again, that protection, that humility is coming up. And look over here, the Queen of Cups. This queen, she's seated on an island, and that is surrounded by ocean. Again, this is what I was saying over here, right? That ocean is emotion, water is emotion, emotional. Here you are fighting. Here you are traveling over the turbulent water, surrounded by all these ghoulish creatures. But here, look, it's all stable. The water has become calm. So you have got control. So a day will come. You may not realize that now, or you may be partly only feeling that, but not to the full extent. But as you go through your life journey, not only through the rest of 2026, but even going forward, because this is a bigger battle, this is a bigger journey. This is not just about rest of 2026. This is it's going to go on. It's a progressive journey. You are going to see that eventually you are finding that more and more inner peace, more and more inner clarity, right? And eventually that battle that you are fighting right now, non-stop against your negative energy, negativities, against your fear, anxieties, temptations, anger, you're going to see that eventually you have conquered everything. And you have become calmer, more compassionate, more at peace with yourself, right? More in control of not only of yourself, but of the entire situation. And again, someone who people can really look up to for advice. Someone who have been there, who have done that, and that's it pretty much, right? So very powerful. And then again, just below the death card, you have this assurance from the universe, right? That the situation will improve. Right? Because again, you may not be realizing that. When I say all this to you now, it may seem like a fantasy to you, right? It may seem like, oh, this guy may be talking nonsense. But the universe is itself reassuring you. Okay, be calm. Go with your journey, right? Don't give up. I know we know you may be fatigued, you may be feeling tired, at times, with this relentless battle with yourself and with outer and inner battle. But the situation will improve. And then again, see, this woman is like going towards light, sun. And you have the Sol card over here. Sol is sun. What does sun represent? Of not only like that ultimate fulfillment, utter light. Light of what? Light of soul. Sun represents soul. Again, this is a group who are intent on seeking out their true nature, because sun represents what is your core nature, what is your truth, true nature. That is all, we are all pure soul inside. So this is a deeper seeking your soul, right? seeking your inner being, trying to know your inner being. That's what's more important over here, right? The situation will improve. So the universe is guiding you towards that light. And again, this seems like, you're floating. You can see dolphins over here, right? So again, all these, marine creatures over here. So again, this indicates that there's water all around you. Again, water. So you have water over here, water over here, water over here. It keeps coming up. Right? So again, it indicates, that, you are right now, finding yourself trapped in this water. Again, that emotional disturbance, that non-stop fighting with your negative emotions, your desires, your temptations and all. But then as you are doing that, you are kind of drifting up and up and up and inching towards that ultimate light, the divine light. It's very, very powerful card. And these affirmations are coming up. The tarot is affirming, its reading. Right? So this is like reassuring you. That, your troubled mind right now, that, hey, these things are happening for a reason. Don't worry. Things are all good. And then again, see, talking about affirmation, you have the alchemy card. What is alchemy? Right? Turning something base into something valuable, right? So turning iron into gold. That is what the process. So universe is trying to transform you, trying to turn you into gold, real gold, right? We all have to go through this transformation sooner or later, in this life or in some other life. But for your Lord, that is happening right now, right? So see that what he says, the frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. What is that magic? That we are eternally pure. We are a divine spark, right? We are all God in human body. But most of us, we don't realize that. But you are in that journey where you will eventually one day realize that in this life itself. That is the magic, that we are all potentially divine, right? Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation, right? Of course, one transmutation is turning base metals into gold, like iron into gold. What is the bigger transmutation? Taking us, mere mortals, and turning us into God, making us realizing that we are in a dream and we were nothing but God all this time. But we have been being God. We have been engaged in all these mundane activities, in negativities, in pursuing a mundane pleasure, forgetting our true self, right? When we realize our true self, when we understand, when we wake up from the dream state and we understand our true nature, our true potential, that is the real alchemical reaction. That is the real transmutation. And that is what you are really going through. Again, look at the next card, love. I commit to the practice of seeing good in all things. Again, this is a vital piece of your journey, because one who is trying to seek his true nature, his or her true nature, true self, and trying to find God, must also get into the habit of seeing God in all, seeing good in all, right? Only if you practice seeing good in all, seeing God in all, and helping others, serving others, that is why, again, being that father figure who can guide others, help others, be compassionate. See here the queen, she's also so compassionate about this small fish, right? She's looking at this small fish, with compassion, with love in her eyes, in her face, right? So that being compassionate, being loving towards one and all, not only human beings, the entire creation, all the animals, big and small, all the trees, because everything is God's creation. Everything, it's not separate, right? Everything is God's creation. Everything is potentially divine. Right? So having that realization, that is part of this journey, right? That is what makes you a true Hierophant, a true king, an authority who protects everyone, not only just human beings, everyone, big and small, right? And see, again, this reassurance is coming up. Just like I said over here, the situation will improve. Here also another reassurance, right? Let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. This is very important, right? Let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. Remember what I said a few minutes back. People on this journey, they may feel fatigued, they may feel afraid that why is it like, things are as if not changing. That's why Death card coming out reversed, right? It's like, when is going to go all over for me? I'm tired of fighting this battle. I'm tired of fighting with myself. That is a bigger battle, right? And fatigued and afraid, and where it's all, what it is all leading to, right? You don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. That is why this reassurance, the situation will improve. Let go of the fear. You are protected at all times. Because you are God's chosen ones. You are God, very close to God. One who seeks God, God also seeks you, right? That is why that it tries to protect you. And also this card over here, it says impasse. Impasse. What does this mean? As if someone is blocking your way. And again, this may resonate with you because this is what you may be going through. Like you're finding yourself stuck, at least for now, when you're maybe seeing this reading. Like stuck, it's like, again, like going in loops. That's why the death card coming out reversed. Stagnation. Like, when is all going to get over? Why am I fighting the same thing again and again? I'm so tired. Every day it's like the same story. The same fights, the same battles, the same inner and outer battles. When is going to get all over? That's why the road may seem blocked. That's why this impasse card. But again, this is for a reason. While one road may seem blocked, this is actually a guardian angel who's blocking. So he's not blocking just to block your way. That means that he's actually opening up other ways for you. Maybe this road is not meant for you, right? Some other better ways are opening up for you, right? That is why the universe is actually guiding you towards the true light. That is why this road may lead you to mundane success, routine success, but that is not good for you. The universe has other plans for you, right? That is why apparently when you may get frustrated with this road being blocked, but later on, sooner or later, you're going to realize there were bigger and better plans for you that the universe had all along. Right? That is why this is not a real blockage. This is actually opening up and making and transforming you. And again, you are going through that alchemical reaction right now. Right? And then, so this is a very, very powerful card. And again, 10 of Pentacles, overall success. 10 of Pentacles means overall success. Not just financial, not just material, but that inner fulfillment. Again, money and career success does not guarantee inner fulfillment, inner happiness. In fact, you will see a lot of people out there who are very rich, who have otherwise all the material possessions, but they are not happy. There's something or the other troubling them. Some family discord, health issues, one thing or the other. But this guarantees overall fulfillment. That's the most important thing. And that's what universe is guaranteeing this group. Keep on with that journey. Don't give up. Don't feel fatigued. Don't feel tired. Get a hold of yourself because your ultimate destination is up there. Right? It guarantees inner fulfillment, inner stability, balance, guidance, fulfillment from everything. And at the same time, financial and material fulfillment. Everything. What all you can ask for. So this is a very, very powerful reading. And then finally, you have this card. That's the card that you chose, Truth. Now it makes sense, right? When you take this, with the overall reading, see how it all comes together, right? When I chose this card, I had not looked at your entire spread, but see how it all comes together. It shows these seekers. Remember, these are like true yogis, Mahatmas. They were like real life saints from India. This is Ma Anandamayi Ma, as I've said. She's a very famous female saint of just recent past, in 1970s, 1980s. And then this is, I think, Sitaram Das Onkarnath. Again, I could be wrong, but I have to look up. But he was another living saint. They were all like saints from recent past. And this is you. That's why this face is covered. The universe is asking that, if it is you, this could be well you. This could be well your destiny, right? So turning into someone like this, very, very powerful message for you all. So take this to your heart and don't give up and move on and be strong, right? And go on with that battle because your destination is light. Your destination is truth, right? And to be like them. So pray to them. Pray to all these saints and sages of all religion. Saints and sages of all religion should be our, we should bow down to them. No matter what, religion is our creation, but truth is universal, right? Truth is universal. That is your goal, no matter which religion you are from. That's why if you are seeing this reading, truth is your goal, divine light is your goal, and the divinity, the true light, is universal for all of us, irrespective of our religion, and for everyone in this creation, right? So very, very powerful card, group number 4, and I'm so glad to be doing this reading. So don't give up. Utter happiness, fulfillment, stability. Not only that, you will be reaching in a position where you will be humble. You will be at peace with yourself. You will be someone very wise, mature, and able to guide others. Be a true leader, right? So start practicing seeing good in all. Don't try to judge others. Judge yourself all the time. Don't judge others. Be compassionate. Try to engage in good things. Right? Try to help others in whatever way you can, either with physical labor or with money or with something else, right? And be kind, be humble, right? Don't expect anything. Do your job and just and take it as an offering to God. And you are going through that alchemical reaction. You are turning into real gold, right? Someone of real value, not only to yourself, but to the overall society. So very, 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 very powerful reading and very, very powerful group. I'm so glad to be doing this reading for you and hope it resonates with you, group number 4. And I will see you in another reading in the near future. Thank you so much.